ready to spring into action. You're about to hear from change makers and thought leaders who are making a difference by embodying their mission. Welcome to Leadership Trends and Insights, a show with one purpose: to supercharge your leadership. And now your host, Nina Segura.
Welcome to Leadership Trends and Insights. I'm your host, Nina Segura, where we create collaborative conversations to connect our company cultures and our world community. We're about to have a conversation with Tamika Duncan. She's a personal brand strategist, creative director, visual storyteller, international best-selling author, and just all-around beautiful person to be around. And I'm so excited that we get to spend some time with you today. Tamisha, welcome.
Thank you, Nina. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Glad you could make it. I know you're busy, so always good to be in your presence.
Oh, thank you.
Tamisha, when we were talking, it really struck me that you had some new insights about what the world needs more now than ever as it relates to leadership, and I'd love for you to share.
Yeah, so when we were talking, the first thing that popped in my head is that I feel like a lot of people do not live authentically out loud. And that's a big issue. It shows up in the workforce. If you're an entrepreneur, it shows up in your business. It shows up at home. And I feel like people need more of that, especially as things turn. We're coming out of this pandemic, hopefully. And as things transition, it's more about how you can be more authentic because people read off of that.
Yeah. I love that. And I know doing branding, you've said that a few times when you're working with people, you really need to slow them down and say, wait, what's really going on here? What really is your authentic message? And to help people overcome that doubt and to really stand into their authenticity.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the main things that I focus on when I work with my clients on their brand strategy, because a lot of times people see things. We all tend to have shiny object syndrome. We want to do this or we want to be this person. And that's not who you authentically are. And a lot of times people fail in business or they're not excelling in the workforce because they're not being authentic to who they are. They're not in alignment with who they are. They're trying to be or do like others do. And it always circles back to a failure at some point because it's not authentic to who they are.
Where have you personally stretched yourself as it relates to this?
Oh, I stressed myself everywhere as it relates to this.
Being a Black woman, right? This powerful business owner.
I will say, as a business owner, I struggled a lot in my business in the beginning because I looked at what a lot of other people were doing and I thought, oh, I should be doing that. And then when that was done, then I'd look at somebody else and say, oh, I should be doing that. I was trying everything, following the gurus to try to get that secret sauce, and nothing was sticking. And I didn't realize until I had to be true to myself and authentic to my values, my morals. What did Tamisha really want? And how does Tamisha show up in the world? And what was Tamisha meant to do to serve others is when my business finally transitioned and exploded because I was finally being true to myself. That's one of the reasons why I really, really push that for others, because I see the power in showing up authentically and living that out loud.
I love that so much. It sounds like a lot of exhaustion when we're trying to push, go do this. And that's the theory for that. And employee retention. Okay, we'll do the employee satisfaction surveys and we'll check all the boxes, but then we're really not thinking about how to be with the person we're sitting across from, whether they're our direct reports, a peer, whatever it is. We're not really being present because we're so busy, right? Out there, not within here, within ourselves. It's so good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the reasons why we feel exhausted when we're in a position that we don't want and we hate getting up to go to work, or we're doing a job that, stresses us out and we physically feel tired, is because our body, our inner soul realizes that this is not who you are. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. And it takes and it drains the energy out of us.
And we wonder, why is there such low productivity? Why aren't people feeling empowered? And then as leaders, it's our responsibility to be in our authentic, natural strengths, really playing to that, right? Not that that doesn't require effort to grow, but at the same time, like staying in our personal strengths and our natural gifts, and then hiring others around us. You and I have talked about that a couple of times, like making sure that we're hiring a good team, a good crew around us so that we are, we're all in our natural gifts. I love it. we're looking at some changing times in our country. And right, you're saying, we're kind of getting through COVID now. What do you think will happen in the future as it relates to leadership? What do you see happening?
I think that COVID and even things with civil unrest and all the things that have been going on within the past year or so has really opened everyone's eyes to what really matters. People are more conscious of themselves, their health, other people around them, more values and morals and beliefs. And you're going to see, at least I believe, you're going to see a major shift in that people are actually now feeling more empowered to stand up for themselves and what they believe is right. And so I feel like even though there's so much fast pace with technology and, everybody's head is down on their phone, people still buy from people. People still need that physical interaction from people. And so I feel like the more authentic, people are now realizing that they have to be true to themselves. They have to be more authentic to be able to make that instant connection. Having a great website or having a great resume anymore is not just, oh, that's great and that solves the problem. You've got to realize and figure out how to connect with people. And so people are looking inward more than they're looking outward. And I'm loving the shift that seems to be happening, because even though if they may not understand how to do it, they're more conscious of that this is something that they need. And they're seeking people like myself, like you, to help them pull those strengths out.
Yeah, I love that so much. Actually, as a reminder, if you're listening to this, we did launch the Modern Leadership Assessment. So go to modernleadershipassessment.com and take your assessment and find out what your modern leadership persona is based on these interviews, based on beautiful thought leaders like Tamisha. We came up with 6 personas, and find out what your natural strengths are that the world's saying they want more of. Go do that. What do you see happening in terms of like branding that may be changing as we're rounding the corner of COVID? Do you feel like COVID has truly made people think, listen, if I'm going to die from some crazy pandemic, I might as well just be true to myself? Like, do you see people kind of coming in more to that?
Oh, absolutely. I definitely do. And the clients that come my way, they're more so looking now to say, okay, this is what I want to do. How do I, connect with people? How do I build relationships with people? Because they're looking to be in their own genius and their own strengths. And that's one of the things that I like to highlight. You don't look at what everybody else is doing. Yeah, we have to be conscious, but really focus on yourself.
I mean, I know you and I volunteer at the Venture Mentorship team. And one of the things that I see there is a lot of angel investors and private equity companies that when they purchase these smaller businesses or when they're merging companies together, they then struggle to find the authentic voice if there's 2 organizations that are coming together. Or it's very important when they're sitting down together, really thinking about what's the value that our customers have that they place in us. And also what's the value that our people deliver, and how can we more strongly do that versus just this system works, this product works. So yeah, that system or product might work, but at the end of the day, right, that people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And in organizations, they seem to struggle. And I've seen some really failed acquisitions, I've seen some really great acquisitions, but I think what you're saying is so relevant to that conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And what it all boils down to is, how do you make people feel? So as you enter someone's environment, their atmosphere, it's how you make them feel that's going to leave that lasting impression, that's going to say, I want to work with Nina, or I want to purchase a product or service, or I want to work for this company. Does it light you up? Does it inspire you?
That's so good. How often do we come to meetings and say, here's the outcome of this meeting, and what do you want to feel at the end, right? Or how often do we really consider, how are we making our clients, our customers feel? How are we making our employees feel? I love it. Tamisha,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. If you want to learn more about Tamisha Duncan, I will have her contact information in the description below, but you can also go to TamishaDuncan.com. Please reach out to her. She's fantastic. She's done some of the best branding that I've seen. So reach out to her. Thank you for listening. If you're a leader in an organization looking for business or personal transformation, please reach out and schedule a success call with me. Tamisha, thank you so much for joining us.
This was fantastic. Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Bye.
Bye.